Okay, good afternoon. Today we are moving on to CO25. I can find a new amount after a decrease. CO24, we know that we were increasing by a certain percentage. Now we're decreasing by the percentage. So off the top of our heads, what do you think is the difference? What do we do differently? Ethan? Yeah, when we increased, we added that percentage increase. Now we're decreasing, so we're going to be subtracting. So here are some more situations you may be familiar with having to do with percentages. Happens in everyday life. Last week you talked on the phone for 200 minutes. Wow, that's a bit of time talking on the phone. You want to decrease that by 30%. How many minutes will you talk on the phone this week? Now I know at my house, my kids don't actually talk on the phone, but they do have screen time. And if I said, hey, you need to decrease your screen time, if I tell them a percentage to decrease it by, they need to know how many minutes to decrease their screen time. The original price of a video game is $80. This week it's on sale for 75% off. Ooh, this is a big one. You need to be able to do those decreases when you're at the store. How much is the video game after the discount? As goalie of your hockey team, you gave up 3.7 goals per game last season. This season, your goal is to decrease that by 24%. What is your goal for the number of goals you give up per game? So as we saw in CO24, there are multiple ways we can answer the questions above. So finding the amount of decrease first. So going off of what we did with CO24, we would set up for the phone if we want to decrease that 200 minutes by 30%, we want to find 30% of 200. Who can tell me how to find 30% of 200? Maddie?
You times 200 by 30.
Do I times it by 30?
By 0.3.
By 0.30, right? 0.3. So if I multiply those together, we get 60. So we know that decreases by 60. So we talked about decreasing means subtracting. So we go back to our original 200 and we subtract out those 60 minutes and we get 140 minutes. It is still a lot of time. The other method is finding the new total directly. So remember that formula. We have the original amount times 100% minus our percentage. So if we're going to plug in our numbers, we had 200 minutes times 100% minus 30%. So that's 200 minutes times 70%. And we know 70% is 0.7. So 200 times 0.7. And that gets us our 140. So remember, there are the two different ways you can go about finding your answer. Colin.
You're just doing the same thing, but in a different way.
The same thing as the other? Mm-hmm. You're right. Well, right. In the finding the amount of decrease first, we're multiplying and then subtracting. And finding the new total directly, we're subtracting and then multiplying. So you're right. We're doing basically the exact same math, just in reverse. Some of us, it makes more sense to go one way versus the other way. Our mind just kind of latches onto it. So use that method. Okay, the video game. It's 75% off of $80. So 75% of $80. And if we did 80 times 75%, 80 times 0.75, we get 60. So then we take our original $80 minus that $60, and our final price is $20. Is that a good deal for an $80 video game?
Yes.
Sure is. Maddie?
Could you do 80 divided by 0.25 or no?
Because of that decimal, it changes everything up. All right, then if we're going with the finding the new total directly, our original price was that $80, 100% minus 75%. So $80 times, 25%, which is 80 times 0.25, gets us that same $20. Now again, while I know that my manual here doesn't have our labels, put labels in your answers. We're working with money, put a dollar sign. And let's look at our last one with the hockey. He wants 24% of that 3.7 goals is 0.89. He wants to decrease the amount of goals he lets in. So that 3.7 minus 0.89 gets us 2.81 goals, which is really kind of goofy. How can you let in 0.81 goals? It is an average. So really, he doesn't want to let in more than 2 goals. He's trying to keep it down there. So if we look at our original, he let in 3.7 goals times that 100% minus the 24%. So 3.7 times 76%, which is 3.7 times 0.76. And that's how we get 2.81. So you need to figure out which method works the best for you. Like I said, all of our brains latch onto different ones. We go, oh, that makes more sense to go this direction. That makes more sense to do the opposite. Whichever one works for you. It's the same thing like when we were doing our increases, but instead of adding to it, we're subtracting from it. So we're going to be working on our binder page number 47. We're on 46. You're going to finish up the bottom of page 46, work on binder page 47, finding those decreases. And when you're finished, you can work on that math packet number 4. We're working on that. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to our friends at home. And remember, there's Khan Academy. I know the internet is in and out today, so you can check to see if Khan Academy will work in our room today. It did on Friday. We'll have to see if it comes back for us today. So we've got math packets, we've got Khan Academy, work on practice work if you're going to do retakes, because it is the end of the try after Thanksgiving. And we want to have all of the retakes, if it's going to affect your grade, have to be done before the end of the try. Otherwise, it's not going to affect your grade at all. And the grade is what it is. So goodbye to my friends at home. We hope you are doing well.